Amcrest 4K security camera review coming your way right now. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Amcrest UltraHD security camera. They did send me this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this item or finding out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Here's how it comes packaged to in a really nice retail box. We can see it's an Ultra HD 4K 8 megapixel PoE outdoor camera with a 2.8 millimeter super wide angle lens. So nice turret style design too. Looks great. We can learn about their Amcrest Cloud app for iOS and Android devices if you want some cloud services. Here we go on the back with all of their key features. Then on this side we can see some more tech specs on the camera. And then we're back to the front of the box, and we can look at the bottom of the box too. Pretty simple, straightforward. Everything looks really cool. Premium Ultra HD 4K, Starlight technology, night vision up to 164 feet away, wide dynamic range, H.265 compression, and a built-in mic so it can record audio. And you can download the Amcrest View Pro app for free on iOS and Android devices to control this camera. Now let's go ahead, open it up, and look at the package contents. All right, guys, here are all the package contents. First up, we have 1 month of cloud subscription service for free. An important notice to upgrade your device's firmware. We have a warranty card right here for you. We have a really nice mounting template sticker as well, so you can get the perfect mount on your first try. We have a quick start guide right here in color, walking you through how to download and set up both of the apps. So that's really nice. You may want to reference that later. We have some mounting screws right here, 4 mounting screws and 4 wall anchors. We have some cable covers right here for additional weatherproofing. And last but not least, we have a nice little security screw wrench that we can use to access the internals of this camera if we want to install like a microSD card or something like that. And then here's the camera itself. Looks really nice. So you can see we got our Ethernet port right there. And it looks like we have a power port right here as well. But again, this is a PoE device if you want to use a PoE switch and power this cable, which is what we're going to do in this video. And then here is the turret cam itself. This looks really nice, guys. Really a cool camera. And so we'll be able to adjust it however we want it. And then we actually have a screw right here too. So we'll be able to use the included tool to get inside there to make final adjustments and to put that SD card in. So it just looks really nice. You don't have to drill a hole through a wall if you don't want to. They do have a slot cut out if you want to run the cable, on the exterior or something like that. You can just run it straight down a wall just like so. Now let's go ahead and let's get that micro SD card installed. All right, guys, so first up, you can see I used the included tool to loosen that security screw, and now this cover came right off. So now the camera is in 3 pieces. We need to get a Phillips head screwdriver as well to remove those 3 screws, and then we can access the internals to put a micro SD card in. So go ahead, remove those 3 screws now. So I got those 3 screws removed. Now you can see the internals of the camera. I actually have to remove 2 more Phillips head screws right there, and then we should be able to find the micro SD card slot. So I got those last 2 screws removed. Now we can go ahead, we can pull out the rest of the camera, and we'll be able to access the micro SD card slot right here. It's in the lock position, so go ahead, just push it back, and then you can open it up, and you can then gently place your micro SD card right in there, just like that. And then we just push it back in place and lock it in there. And now it's nice and secure. Just be careful not to tug on anything too hard. You don't want to damage any of the wires or anything from within the camera here. They're very sensitive internals. So now that we have that installed, let's go ahead, let's put the camera back together and then fire it up and try it out. So I got the camera put back together. That was quite the ordeal to install a micro SD card. If you're going to go ahead and do that, be sure to put a big micro SD card in there so you don't have to go in there later on and redo that whole process. They support up to 128 gigabyte micro SD cards. Now you can see I have it plugged into a PoE switch right here. This is also by Amcrest, the same manufacturer that made this camera. Here's the retail box too for it. This is a 9-port PoE switch. They have a couple different options on Amazon. I'll link to them in the video description below as well. But that's what we're going to be using today in this video. If you want to do the PoE power, be sure you have a great PoE switch. And what better than the same brand that makes the camera to use their PoE switch. So now guys, let's go ahead. Let's get the Amcrest Pro app downloaded on our iOS or Android device so we can finish setup. All right guys, once you have the Amcrest View Pro app downloaded on your mobile device, you'll be at this home screen where we need to add the new device. So go ahead, hit that big plus icon in the center of the screen, go to the bottom, select Add Device, choose PoE camera, and then we're going to do the P2P setup right there. Now we need to scan the QR code. You might look around and be like, there's no QR code. It's right here on the label for you. So it already got it really quickly. That's the serial number. Go ahead, select next. We can give your camera a name if you want. Let's see. Let's just name it camera 1. Oh, camera 1. Okay, default username, default password. Everything looks good to me. Start live view. Let's see if we can connect to it. So now we're connected to the camera and we have a great live view up right here. We can change the screen settings right here if we had multiple cameras to view. We can hit that star if we want to add a favorite. We have settings. There is a microphone icon, but this does not have two-way audio. But we can unmute it right here to listen to that microphone. So there you go. But it's going to cause a lot of feedback because we're so close to the camera, the device, and a microphone right there. If this did have pan, tilt, and zoom, we could control those features right here with a pinch and a zoom. We also have your HD settings right here. So we could choose your standard definition frame rate, and there it is. And then we can configure this as well to HD if we want. So let's go back out. Here's HD. We can go ahead, hit the edit, and look at all the choices we have. So 4K is at 15 frames per second. You can see that right there. So you can change the frame rate all the way up till 20 for 4K. And then the bit rate, you have a lot of different bit rate options as well, depending on what you want. So you could really max all that out right there. So that says it's successfully saved right now. And so we have the HD. Let's go back into the app again. Let's see what else we have. We have this little camera feature so we can save some screenshots right there. So now we want to go to the settings and view all the different settings we can enable, disable, that sort of thing. So motion detection, we can set the schedule for that depending on the day and time of the week right there. So this is jam-packed full of a lot of stuff. Sensitivity, region settings. Do you want push notifications for camera 1? Do you want to record? Do you want any sort of delay, snapshots? Do you want email alerts? If so, you're going to have to configure this yourself. So it'll give you these options right here to enter your email provider, server information, that sort of thing. So unfortunately, it's not as easy as just putting in your Gmail address. But if you know how to do that stuff, you'll be able to get an email alert as well. So let's go back out of there, see what other settings we have. That's just about it for motion detection right there and your push notifications. But that's really neat, guys. We don't need to save those this second. Let's see what else we have. We can go ahead and at the top right-hand corner, we can view our device list right there and go easily in and out of devices. In the top left-hand corner, we can view more options right here. Playback, device manager, my saved files, camera map, favorites, push notifications, a lot of what we've already seen. So let's go into the playback tab. We don't have much to play back yet since this camera's just been online, but once we do have some footage, we'll be able to see it right from within here, which is really cool. And again, that's for multiple cameras if you want to get a bunch of these together. Device manager, we just looked into that earlier. My saved files, no files right now, but there is the picture that we took. We can see that right there. Pretty clear as well for an IP camera. So when you're looking at your saved files right here, you can go ahead, you can hold one down, you can select multiple, and then it brings up some options at the bottom. We can delete the files, we can share the files right here, or we can export the files. I want to let you guys know it said that it's saving the files as MP4s. I've been unable to find those MP4 videos anywhere on my device. I even plugged it into the computer and I was unable to find them. What I could find were JPEG files and .dav files, which is an encrypted video file. And so you can use Handbrake to convert the file, but it won't convert the audio. At least I didn't have any luck with that. Or you can use, Amcrest has their own media player software you can download for free for Windows and PC if you need to convert that video file to like an AVI file where then you can use the audio and the video. So keep that in mind. It does have encrypted video files. You may get lucky, and I may just be having the only issue with the MP4s not truly saving to my device. But if you're in the same boat and you can find the DAV files, you can convert them using their own software. I'll link to it in the video description below. Here's a camera map, so that's neat. Then we have favorites. And a lot of this stuff is just not filled out yet because we just set up the camera. So we can configure push notifications. We can enable it. We saw that in the other one. Live view. We can save those changes. So we got to turn them on if we want it. Save. Now it's good to go. But we can do face detection. I mean, look at all those alerts we could get if we wanted. Audio alerts too. So we could do that. And now it's all good to go. So there's just a lot of features in this app passcode, configuration center. If you have any questions, you need some help, leave feedback. Or if you want to view their cloud storage, it's going to take you to your app store where you can download the Amcrest cloud app as well. Now let's go outside and get this camera installed. So you can see we got the camera installed here. Installation was as simple as 3 screws to screw that back plate on. Then you can see we just used the included security lock Allen wrench that they provided to tighten it back down. We position the camera how we want it, and we're all ready to go to start testing out this camera and seeing some great day and night footage. If you're wondering, I did mount this on a wall, but you could also mount this on a ceiling or an overhang or a soffit or something like that outside as well. So there's a lot of flexibility with this mount and how you can install this camera. So it's been a couple of days since we had the camera installed. Now we have some good footage to work with and really check out more features in this app. So first up, here's your daytime sample with the live view outside. It's around 12:30 in the afternoon and it is a cloudy and overcast day. So the picture quality is very realistic and the detail is really nice. I'd say the camera's around 30, 35 feet away from that house right there. And we can look in the bottom corner too. If you want to take a photo, you can scroll over, take a video, you can rotate the screen. The moon is for night time if you want to adjust the night vision settings. We also have a brush if you want to do some image adjustments too, which is nice. You have a lot of features up there. There's a little replay button. There's a fisheye icon, a privacy mask, and you have motion alerts tracking right there at the bottom. So that's nice to see all that in real time. Now we can go in the top left-hand corner. Let's view our playback settings since we have footage now to play back, since we have that microSD card installed and it's been over 24 hours, about 48 hours since we've had this camera up and running. So there we go. We enter in, we hit the plus icon. Now we choose our date and time. You have to keep that within a 24-hour range. So let's go right here. Let's pick yesterday till today. So let's just pick maybe around that time. Hit OK. You can choose the record type. Do you want all the footage? Do you want just the regular, the alarm, or the motion detection? And you can change those settings within the app. Let's go ahead. Let's select our camera and view that footage. It'll take it a minute to populate that clip for you, especially if you select, closer to that 24-hour range. But it'll load for a minute. There we go. It just finished. And now anything in blue is the footage we requested. And then you can zoom out, pinch in or pinch out. And then you can navigate easier depending on what you want to find and how specific of a time range you need to be in. So you can see all the way to a 5-minute gap. And then you can even see it at night. It looks great. There's room for other cameras to do this exact same thing with if you want to add multiples of these to your network. So looks really nice. It's really easy to use. Then if you want to download that footage, you have to hit the little camera icon. You can take a picture or you can watch it back by hitting the record and record what you want and then stop when you're done. I'd love to see like a trim feature or the ability to export the footage directly, to your device as opposed to recording it on the screen. But if you do hit the record button here, it'll record it in full resolution for you, which is nice. So that's the nice playback features, guys. Then we can look up here. Next one is my saved files. So we've saved some files on here that we can go back and look at to give you a nice night time sample right here. So we're going to play the audio on it, and keep in mind there is a siren in the background. The person's about 30 feet or so away from the microphone, so it's a very sensitive microphone. And it kind of takes, I'd say, 10 or 15 seconds for the camera to really settle in, and then the audio is pretty clear. So if you stand closer to it or you have better network settings set up for the video streaming, you'll probably get even better quality. But let's go ahead, let's watch that clip now. So here it is. We're taking my dog, Doug, outside to go potty. Let's start that back at the beginning with audio on. So here he is, he's coming outside. You can hear the command for him to go potty. He's walking around. I'm impressed with this too because you can see that huge bright security light and the camera adjusts accordingly and the picture quality is great and not blown out. But there you go, so you can hear it, and it picked up the siren in the background, and you can hear the commands to my dog, Doug. So I'm impressed with the microphone quality, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, it really is going to factor into what settings you have. This is 1080p, 24 frames a second, around 600 as the bit rate. I went way further up to more like 4K, but I just noticed it lagged even more for me. So if I did like a standard definition stream, the quality would be even better in that regard because it would be less choppy, less laggy. But I want to hear from you guys in that comment section below on this. Let's go back out to, want to show you in the menu really quick, this really important tab to go in, the configuration center right here. Just about everything can be changed and adjusted right here. One thing I want to point out for you, make sure as soon as you set this up, change the date and time. I did not have the date and time changed, so we can go in here. We can choose the camera, and I synced it with my phone, which is really nice. But at first, I didn't have it, and it defaults at like January 1st, 2000. So when I was trying to go back and view saved footage and just searched, October 19th and October 18th and October 20th of this year, I couldn't find anything. It said there was no footage, and I was like, well, what the heck? It's supposed to be recording. I got the MicroSD card installed. That's because I needed to search January 1st of the year 2000. So as soon as I changed the date, everything worked just fine. Then like you saw, I can go back, look at the archives, download the footage, that sort of thing. So make sure you change your date. You can do that right here. And then there's a couple more great features too. You can adjust your video stream settings right here as well. So I'll show you guys. Here's the main stream that we're using. That's the resolution. There's all the resolutions we can set it to. So again, if you have a really good network and really good network infrastructure and great signal strength, the router, switches, all that, you'll be able to probably push out that 4K Ultra HD just fine. I still have a little bit of lag at the 1080p, as you can see in that nighttime clip with kind of the staggering of the audio. I could go up further, but it just kind of suffers a quality loss for me in my home network. But again, you can go all the way down to 720p, and I think the camera's really nice, and you can adjust the frame rates as well. Want to point out, if you do select 4K, the max frame rate they give you is 15. If you change it from the camera settings during the live view, it might let you go up to 30, but I don't believe it's actually giving you that 30 frame rate. It defaults, or its max from the real configuration settings is 15 frame rate right there that you can see. And you can adjust the bit rate as well. So that's nice. And it just has a lot of features. So we don't want to save those settings. We want to keep what we have currently. And so if you have a question, chances are you can find it right from within the center right there. And they also have really helpful documentations and guides online on their website. I'll try to link to it in the video description below to really help you guys out too if you have any questions, because this app is packed full of a ton of features and it's a little bit overwhelming in all honesty. Now, really quick too, I want to show you guys how to change the recording schedule. So in the configuration center tab still, just go ahead, hit recording schedule, choose your camera, and there we go. So that's what we have recording right now all the time. If we want to change that, go ahead, hit edit. Here it is. So you can choose specific days of the week if you want. So let's exit out of there. We can then copy that. We could copy it to the whole week. If we're happy with those settings, hit save, and you're all good to go. So here's what we got right now. We could do normal recording. We could turn that off. We could turn motion recording on or off, and alarm recording on or off too. So those are your three options. You can change them for each day of the week and specific times as well, starting and ending right there. So they have some great recording features right from within the app. I have everything on, but you can change this to whatever you desire, which is really nice. So overall, guys, again, it's just a great app, but it has a lot of features that can be overwhelming. Everything can be easily found right here, navigated to, and here's the push notifications as well. I want to show you that really quick. So we can configure them or we can view our previous events. So here we go. Since we've had them set up for a couple of days now, we have a lot of motion detection events to go through. So once you get the notification on your phone, you can open it up and it'll take you to this. So here we go. We got this notification. There's a little clip that it saved, and we could turn the audio on again if we wanted. So we could listen in. There's the noise from outside. Again, it's just going to be background noise unless there's a siren, a car horn, or somebody speaking to the camera. So in this case, we can see it's probably a combination of the tree and the leaves falling and the branches blowing that triggered this alert. But we can scrub through too. Maybe there's a car driving by, possibly, but it doesn't appear to be the case for this clip. But the motion alert settings are really nice as well, and they pop right to your phone, and then you can view them right from within the app. And again, depending on your sensitivity, you can change all of that. So again, a lot of features. This is one of the most feature-rich apps I've ever reviewed for security camera. But again, it kind of comes with the cost. It's a little overwhelming and not as simple as some of the other ones, even though it's going to give you way more features than a lot of those other apps. So overall, guys, I'm definitely impressed with this camera. I think the biggest negative for this is the micro SD card slot install. You saw that earlier in the video. It's very difficult. You got to take apart 5 screws and remove the lens and put it in. But if you're not going to use a micro SD card and you just want the cloud plan or just an IP cam to view without saving footage, definitely want to check this out. And if you do use the micro SD card, I was able to do it, so you're able to do it too, but it's just not user friendly. I think that's a very poor design. Now, it might factor into the waterproofing and the weatherproofing of this camera, but I'm pretty sure there's a way you could do a grommet, something on the back or the side, or maybe just, you know, inside the cover to do, as opposed to literally removing the lens and the internals of the whole camera to put the card in. I'm not a big fan of that. But everything else, the installation was easy. The built-in mic is nice. I love having security cameras with built-in mics. I wish all of them had a built-in mic. It'd be cool to have two-way audio, but at least having the one-way audio to capture the video and audio outside is a bonus. I love having that. You just can't capture too much data when it comes to protecting your house, your family, your loved ones, your possessions, whatever. Having 4K is great too. My network just can't really support it, so it's not a feature I'll probably use too often, but it is there if you want to push really high video resolutions. So overall, yeah, guys, if you're interested in this product, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And if you want to find out more about it, don't forget the link to it will be in my video description below. So please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily and don't want you guys to miss anything. Give us a follow online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Message us on WeChat. Check out our website and join our free newsletter. Follow us on Twitch. Join our Discord. And again, don't hesitate to reach out in the comment section below with any questions, comments, or concerns. I'll be happy to try to answer them for you or point you in the right direction. Great helpful resources online, so be sure to check those out in the link below as well. We have new content coming out daily, so we can't wait to see you in our next video.